Welcome back to another edition of Our City. As the summer has ended and we roll around to October, I want to thank Alonzo Jones for filling in for me for the last couple of shows. And as all the young people are now back in school, we're going to have a few of them on the second half of the show talking about Taste of the Towns that's going to occur on October 16th. So on Thursday, October 12th at noon, I'm going to join members of the Italian community, not in our city, but throughout our county, as they raise the Italian flag in front of City Hall on what is traditionally known as the anniversary of Christopher Columbus discovering America. And on Saturday, October 14th at 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to join members of the Health and Human Services Department, residents of the community, at the annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk. This will take place at Carteret Park, located at the intersection of Murray Street and Elmore Avenue. For more information, please call 908-820-4250. And on Monday, October 16th, beginning at 5 o'clock in the evening, as I mentioned in the opening of this show, the 11th annual Taste of Elizabeth. It's sponsored by the Rotary Club of our city, which just recently celebrated its 100th anniversary, which was the subject of a show a while back. The event will feature some local merchants, restaurants, bakeries, diners, and many organizations. Even Trinitas Hospital has a stand there serving food. Funds raised support the efforts of the Rotary as they provide grants and scholarships throughout the community. I got to tell you, I haven't missed a Taste of Elizabeth. But when you bring all the great restaurants in the city of Elizabeth and the surrounding region together in one place, it's an absolutely terrific evening, and plus it supports the Rotary Club. If you need more information concerning these events or any other events, please call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. Please stay with us after these messages. We're going to spend the next half hour talking about food and drink.
Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kane University.
Welcome back to our city. I'm pleased to be joined by two Rotarians who helped start the Rotary 100 years ago. Just kidding, guys. Mr. Ken Richuso and Mr. Doug Harris. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Mayor.
Nice to see you.
Ken and Doug, this is the 11th year of Taste of the Towns. But how long have you guys been involved in Rotary? Ken, you?
2018 will be my 30th year.
30th year. Mm-hmm. And Doug, how about you?
I date back to 1982.
So you're more than that. Yeah, you've been around longer, huh?
I know. Feels
30. Who were you with then? Were you at Elizabeth General then, or
It was Elizabeth General at the time.
At the time, right?
And I continued as the hospital contact, hospital classification, through all those years.
Tell us about that, Doug. You talked about classification. A lot of our viewers don't know what the Rotary is. Tell them about the classifications to join the Rotary.
Well, we serve through our own classifications so that you don't have a lot of, say, real estate agents or lawyers. You've got somebody in every classification, and that's the best way that you can come together and serve the community through your own specialty. In marketing, so I do marketing for the club, and I help spread the awareness of the club. Ken's background in insurance was very helpful when he gave programs on insurance and talked about even the raffle licenses that we get now for Taste of Elizabeth.
Yeah, everybody brings their own talent to the club in different ways and makes for a great camaraderie.
Otherwise you can wind up with all lawyers or
exactly.
Or something like that.
Or all PR guys.
Or all PR guys. God forbid they're all PR guys. So, Ken, this is the 11th year for Taste of Elizabeth. Please tell our viewers basically the background is. Whose idea was this?
Goes back, actually.
There was a Taste of Union
There was a
County.
Taste of the Towns was the original. That was 23 years ago, actually. And Doug was one of the founders of that.
Pantages somewhere,
It was at Pantages, yep.
Because I went to it, and I first said, why don't we have one of these in Elizabeth?
Yeah.
I thought
Well, back then, nobody was doing tasting events, and now they're everywhere, but we really, I think, broke the mold and
so we
pulled
did
vendors
13 of those and then transformed it into Taste of Elizabeth.
So there were 13, the county doesn't have one anymore now.
No. It's gotten very local.
It's
gotten very local. Every cities do their own, and so a county one is very difficult because most of the restaurants want to do one in their own backyard.
Because they want to attract people.
Exactly, So that's the way it's gone.
Doug, you remember how the idea started back then when the county did it? I mean, it's very
it
creative.
was a couple of Rotarians back then. John Jacobson, who's still active now. Mike Perselli from Perselli Truck. Actually, it was Mike's idea. He said, I
think he went to one in Essex County somewhere.
It was
and said,
great.
"Gee, yeah, we
know,
should
it
do
was,
this."
At the time, it was even more than we're charging now. It might have been $40 or $50 back then. He said it was the best deal he ever had. He got to sample the best of every restaurant in the area. He was fully excited. I'd never get a meal like this for what I paid to go in. So we took the event home, and that was 1992, I think.
It was.
1993. Yeah.
Because I was just forgetting the mayor when I went to the first one out in Scotch Plains. And so we don't charge that, do we?
$35. And we found when we started increasing prices a bit, it cuts down on the number of people that come, and we'd rather have a big crowd. So we've kept the price reasonable and hoping that
But when it
more
comes
and more
to vendors,
people
there's
come.
not an empty space in there.
Not an empty space, no. We currently have about 40 for this year, which is even a few more than last year. Not sure how we're going to squeeze them in, but we'll find a way. Renaissance always finds a way to
they
get
work
everybody.
with you, right?
Oh,
So you got 40, and as far as the people that come, I marvel that they don't leave.
Oh, no. No, got to get there early. That's what we tell the vendors. Be ready by 5 o'clock, because 5 o'clock people are ready to eat, and they'll be there
And
for most of the 3
socialize,
hours.
They will.
Oh, absolutely.
And if they miss something and they go back to it later, or they like something,
Right.
And people do look forward to the hospital food.
yeah, I marvel at that because like Ken said when we were talking before the show, well, Mayor, you get to serve the hospital food for the photo. This way you don't have to eat it. I got a kick out of it. But no, the hospital food is good.
We have very good chefs.
The award-winning Trinitas.
That's right.
That's right.
They do their thing without sodium at the hospital and a lot of other things
Which
for
is for
people
the
on
patients
diets.
is probably a good thing, right?
Yeah, but now they can experiment a little bit and they really put it on. They have a pumpkin soup that they can't not bring anymore because everybody looks for that now when they
And it's in October.
when they're there.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that
pumpkin
makes sense.
soup makes sense for
Sure.
the timing, right?
Absolutely.
So Ken, give us the particulars on this, where, when, timing, price, and
Sure. Monday night, October 16th, at the Renaissance Newark Airport Hotel from 5 to 8:30. Tickets are $35. You can get them various ways. Our website, elizabethrotary.org. We're using Eventbrite this year for people to purchase tickets. We thought that would be a pretty efficient way to do it. Or they can be purchased at B.B. Miller and Company on North Broad Street, the Garden Restaurant where we have our Rotary meetings, have tickets. So you can, various ways to get them. You can call the numbers that are out there and we'll hold the tickets for you at the door.
Yeah,
So
or you
Ken-
can come to the door.
Yeah,
You
you
can
can
go to
buy
the
them
door,
at the door too.
Yeah,
Sure.
and we won't charge more for at the door this year. We're going to keep it at 35 throughout.
there was a
yeah,
higher
there's
price at the
40,
door?
40 at the door. That doesn't work. So
Yeah,
30.
because people come on, I forgot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get it on
Right,
there.
I called Doug and he
I
said it
called
was
Doug,
okay.
Yeah. I called Doug and he said 35.
35,
Okay. Yeah. So Ken, you mentioned that there's more groups this year, of 40, and so Doug, tell us, how is this event going to be different if the hospital's still serving that same pumpkin soup? What's different about this year's event?
Well, I
Just
think
kidding.
probably Ken can address that better because he's the man on the ground that hits every restaurant and mixes it up. And
So,
there are
so
a
when
few
Ken
that drop
walks in,
out.
they have to prepare something for Ken to taste.
I think so.
I've done my share of
Yeah. And he
experimenting.
gives his famous thumbs up or
That's
thumbs
right.
down.
Yeah. Well, we have 7 new vendors this year. Circle Barbecue Cafe, which opened this year. El Leño Steakhouse, Uruguayan Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Food Bazaar.
I was there at the ribbon
At the
cutting.
Grand Cutting. That's how I get a lot of my leads. I
you
follow
watch
you
my
on
schedule.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I follow you on Facebook and then follow up the grand opening with a visit, and that works out well. Food Bazaar, the specialty market. IKEA restaurant has agreed to come this year. So
They're probably bringing
hopefully
the Swedish meatballs,
I
right?
hope so.
That
They're the
started
best.
with a
People
conversation
talk about
in the
them
club.
all over the place.
Yeah, so we got to get those Swedish meatballs at Taste of Elizabeth.
So they've agreed to come this year. La Tostano, which is Cuban pizza. So we have Cuban pizza and Italian pizza this year. And since our borders are open here, we have from out of town the Red Knot at the Galloping Hill Golf Course.
Is that a political statement that the borders are open, Ken?
I'm complimenting you, Mayor. Keeping us friendly here. Rio Rodicio on 22
22
in
is part of
Union,
it, okay.
right? And also freeholder Granados suggested that the Warrenenko Sports Center, which now has a restaurant, take a
does.
table.
Yeah.
So they'll be joining us as well. So county is represented this year with the golf course and the sports center.
Good.
So those are our new folks this year.
So Doug, do you taste the hospital food before it's brought over there for serving?
I trust them by now.
You do. You know, as a
Michelle,
PR
our
guy,
leader
you don't have
group.
to.
No, I know they're going to do a good job and do us well.
So do you have food vendors only, or are there other?
No, there are, well, besides the restaurants, we have 4 tables that are kind of community-oriented tables, and they come every year and do a great job. We have Come Grow With Us Gardens from Groundwork Elizabeth, who bring produce. We've mentioned Trinitas. Liberty Hall Museum takes a table and serve teas and scones in costume. And then the people who steal the show every year, the Edison Academy Culinary Arts Institute, are there every year, and they just
They were good last year.
They just steal the show every year.
And I get to take a picture with all those
That's
kids,
good.
which is absolutely terrific. you know?
People look for them first.
Oh yeah, that's
they
usually the
put it
first
on.
table that people
Right to
go.
the,
It's right to the-
are
right
they
to
still in the
Edison.
corner over
Yep.
there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They've got their spot set up. Mr. Conti's got.
I know, they got the
his
whole corner
system
area.
there. Yeah.
And it's usually one of the more crowded corners of
It
the
is.
of the event. I think it's because the kids are so damn friendly.
That's true too.
Yeah, so that's probably the reason.
And the filet mignon that they served last year was
Oh, is out of this world.
Yeah. So we covered the costs, $35, and we covered where you can purchase tickets. The Renaissance usually has a setup too, right? When you first
Oh yeah,
walk in.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've right in the. They've got the biggest table actually. There's
Right,
the
and,
home,
and you
home
can
field.
purchase alcohol in there if you want too, right? Or
Yeah,
no?
they do have
they
a
have
bar.
some wine?
There are 7. We have 7 beverage vendors.
Climax Brewery,
Climax
right? From Rosa
Brewery.
Park
Yeah,
comes and
there's
serves.
one from down the shore. Beach House Beer from Belmar comes up.
Oh, really?
Every year, yeah. Plus Gallo Wines and Garcia Liquors. So there's plenty to wet your whistle on. But the Renaissance does have a bar if
If they want to purchase
if you want to purchase
So
something.
does
else.
the vendor pay to be part of this, or you invite the vendors? Free?
No, vendors are free.
vendors
Yep.
are free, and so just to show off their
Yeah,
wares type of thing.
that's their expenses, their food, and their help to bring. So
It is a great deal for them, though, because they can put their specialty right into the mouths of up to 400 people, and there's just no better advertising than that.
I think
So-
400 people, you're being kind. I always think it's more.
Yeah.
sometimes
think
it
it
does
feels that
look
way,
like
yeah.
more. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we look at 400 guests, not counting all the restaurant personnel. So it's a full room. It's not overly packed.
right.
People really don't have to wait for any vendor at any time, which is nice. And we try to keep it at that level. So it seems like 400 paying guests, and then the restaurant people rounds it out nicely.
Do you sign up all the who signs up all the restaurants? Whose job is that?
That's my job, but we get a lot like Phyllis Reich from City Hall was responsible for getting the Red Knot restaurant, and then she's in touch with Sergio. So there are different people who find different ways of suggesting things, or I know somebody, or I drove past a place that just opened. So we get help from.
So other people will say, hey,
Yeah,
let's try
Ken,
this place out.
go try this place out.
So in other words, Ken, go try this food. Is what it boils down to, huh, Doug?
It gets to the point where somebody's new in town or somebody hits a good restaurant, it eventually makes its way to Ken. You got to bring them into Taste of Elizabeth. And then he
that's how
signs
it-
them up. They're, he sells it, and
very
Mm-hmm.
they
easy.
go and they have a great time.
Very easy sell.
So I got to thank the two of you guys for coming on the show. I always look forward to this. I plan to be there that night and help celebrate and walk around and say hello to folks. And the second half of this show, we're going to have the Edison Culinary students on, and I got to tell you, I enjoy them
Oh, yeah.
tremendously. And I want to thank you for your commitment in
Oh, we
making
appreciate
an
your
event in
support.
our city terrific.
Very much appreciate it. Thank you.
For Doug Harris and Ken Richuso, please stay with us after these messages. I'm going to be joined by students from the Edison Culinary Arts School. It's a great part of the show. Please stay with us.
We're an American original, dependable, historic, nuanced, with all the comforts of home, even when you're just visiting. So we're celebrating for all that we've left untouched and all that we've changed. A place where the past meets the future. So consider this your invitation.
We've been celebrating here in Elizabeth for 350 years, and we're just getting started. Welcome back to our city, where I'm pleased to be joined by 3 students from the Edison Arts Culinary Institute, the Thomas Edison High School here in the city of Elizabeth. First is Miss Maressa Bento. Maressa, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having
Miss
me.
Lisbeth Peralta. Lisbeth, welcome.
Thank you.
And Miss Demi Barbosa. Demi, welcome.
Thank you.
So, ladies, what made you decide to take a culinary class? Now, you Maressa, you've been on the show before, so if
Yes.
it's okay, I'm going to start with Lisbeth and Demi. What made you do this, Lisbeth?
'Cause like I like cooking and I like to be in the kitchen. Like
So did you do this freshman year, or did you do
yeah,
this?
freshman year.
So you're a junior now, right? Mm-hmm. And Demi, what was your reasoning for jump starting this?
Well, I cook at home, so the majority of my time is cooking at home, and I actually love doing it. So the kitchen at my school, it's really a good environment to work at.
So have you met some nice people there too?
Yeah.
Is it a co-ed class or just all women cooking? Co-ed? There's guys in there cooking?
Yeah.
Of course.
You think they know what they're doing?
Yeah.
You do? They're good, huh?
Yeah.
I know Kahlil Monroe is off camera. He's preparing the dish that we're going to have in front of us. Tuna something or other.
Yeah, sesame tuna.
Sesame tuna. So can you remember your first culinary class, Maressa, since you're a senior?
Yes.
You're the veteran among this group?
Yeah. My first year I walked in there and Mr. Conti is, he gave quite an impression because, you know, he seems like a serious guy. And I being a shy person was just like...
Can't believe you're shy.
I know. But yeah, it just pushed me out of my comfort zone. It was something that I felt like I wanted to do, and I cook at home, and like being Brazilian, ladies were told like, you know, oh, you should learn how to cook and everything. And so for me it was like something I already had to do, and it really pulled me in with, you know, the environment.
What is the favorite Brazilian dish? Your rodizio or something?
Yeah, rodizio, and also we do caldo de pinto, which is
Caldo
like
de Bento.
yeah, which is chicken soup basically.
Okay. But you don't mix them, right? Rodizio and
No, yeah, we
you do?
yeah.
The appetizer and then...
Yeah, just yesterday we had it. Yeah.
Did you really? Did you make it in school or you made it at home?
Home.
You made it home. Okay. And the leftovers must be great.
Yeah.
They're probably better the second day around, right?
Yeah.
So, Lisbeth, what made you, what sucked you into the culinary schooling in a freshman year? Are you shy like Maressa just told me?
I was shy and
Yeah.
scared because the way Mr. Conti is, like, he's a little bit bossy, but I'm just sweet.
And you're sweet? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So you think he's bossy because he's trying to take the shy, sweet kid
Yeah.
and make her stronger and better? Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead. That sucked you in?
And then, like, I got to know him, and I was like, wait, he's different now. And he's nice. He's really nice. He's
And
my
you're
favorite
learning.
teacher.
Huh?
Yeah. He's my favorite teacher.
Favorite teacher.
Yes.
So what brought you in?
Well,
Demi?
basically, I love the fact that he joins everyone together and the fact that he pushes us to do more instead of just making small
What was your
talk.
first culinary class? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember exactly, but it was exciting. That's just the only thing I remember.
So the excitement of your first class kind of got you going into this, huh? So tell me about the items that are needed to prepare a typical dish.
Okay.
Like Kahlil made this great. What is it?
It's a sesame tuna steak with basmati rice and honey, soy sauce, and wasabi glaze. Yeah.
Okay. Now, whose idea was it to create this dish?
Mr. Conti, along with some of the students, we all wanted to do something different. You know, the bar gets higher every year for our dishes, so, you know, after filet mignon, can you do? So it's kind of, so yeah, this is something different, and we just got together, and just the same way we do with everything, we work together as a team, and we, you know, put it together. Yeah.
So what are some of the ingredients you need for this, Lisbeth and Demi? What would you start with here?
We can start with the rice, and then the sauce is wasabi with soy sauce and
Honey as well.
honey.
Honey. That gives it a little sweetness. Right?
Yeah.
So Demi, would this be one of your favorite dishes to make? You told me that you have some favorites.
Yeah, lasagna is my favorite, but I'm not exactly on the seafood side, so I don't really do that much.
Oh, so you don't do a lot of the seafood in the class. So lasagna, tell me how many great lasagnas you've made.
I've made the normal, like the original, and the veggie lasagna that's pretty much almost the same without the meat.
And the veggie lasagna, how'd that come out?
Pretty good. My mom liked it.
Your mom liked it. Did she never had a veggie lasagna before?
Nope.
So it's her first time, and she thought it was pretty. So have you made it again?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to become a staple of your household cooking.
Not that much though.
Not that much. Now, you like to cook in the house, Lisbeth? You told me no, huh?
No.
Why?
Because I don't like when people are like, no, I don't like this, I don't like this. But like, it's a good advice because if I do something wrong, that will fix it. But no, I would I like cooking in Mr. Conti.
Well, if they don't like what you cook, just send them out to Wendy's or something. That's all. Hey, Maressa, you cook at home, right?
Yes, I do.
Because you were told as a young lady you had to.
Yeah.
And you've liked it.
Yeah, I've loved it. It's
Okay.
amazing. And, I take criticism pretty well with my family because I try my best to take their advice and, learn from it because it can't be negative. It can't hurt you in any way if you're learning, to cook better or, salt it a little better. It always helps instead of someone, going out there, putting your name on a plate publicly and just, putting yourself out there and having someone criticize it.
So, Demi, you told me before the show started that you cook at home because you're the only one. Nobody else cooks.
Nobody can complain about it. That's basically.
Good answer, Demi. So, these string beans, something we talked about, these string beans are really soft, right? And some people make them a little al dente and harder. What's the proper way, or do you make them for the customer to order?
When the string beans, preferably we leave them a little more soft. That's what we've heard people like, and it's fine if they ask unless they ask us specifically to do it a different way. We usually keep it the same so that everyone's happy. But yeah, that's usually we try to please everyone as best we can.
So there's no proper way. It's probably whatever the customer wants.
Yeah.
And so, how long does it take you to prepare a dish like this? What do you think? An hour? Half an hour?
Not even.
Not even?
I think as long as it takes for you, as long as it takes for you to sear the tuna and make the rice, that's all you need. It's not going to take your whole day.
That tuna's good. Very good. Have you made this for a lot of people or just in class?
So far, it's just been in class, but as the year has progressed, we've been doing more and more events, so we're starting to open up our menu again.
So, ladies, what would you like to do when you get out of school? Maressa, you're going to be a senior, right? You're
Yes,
a senior.
I am.
So what are you going to do?
Looking into colleges, seeing programs, scholarships, things like that to, further my career in culinary.
You want to do this?
Yeah.
You two are juniors. And first time on the show, so do you come back and do more culinary classes as seniors? Do you look for colleges? What are you going to do, Lisbeth?
I want to go to a culinary college and I wanted to become a chef.
But then you got to start taking criticism at some point.
Yeah,
so
I know.
you need to practice at home.
Yeah.
They could be your biggest critics or your biggest fans, right? The people at home. How about you, Demi?
CIA and Hudson Community College is basically my goal.
Hudson Community College is a good culinary program? Okay. So have you ever cooked any large dishes?
Yes, we have. We do seasonal caterings, like, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, we started doing. And so Christmas this year was like a good meal. We did, turkey, steamed vegetables, arroz con chorizo, and gandules, which is rice and sausage and beans. So yeah, that was something that was awesome because we had like a nice meal together as a family, and we prepared meals for people. And it kind of took a little bit of the weight off of Christmas. It can be a busy time, and I know some people don't have the time to cook a whole meal for their family, so it was good to help out.
So do any of you prepare a dish and then tell Mr. Conti, say, hey, we want you to try this one? Do you go off script at all? He doesn't let you?
Yeah, from time to time, like he tells us, what do you guys want to do? He always gives us that freedom to say, hey, what do you guys want to do for this event? What are you thinking? I'm thinking this. What do you guys think? There's always that opportunity to work together. It's not a dictatorship or something.
Tell me that working as a team bit when you cook. I mean, one person doesn't prepare this. It's all part of a team effort. Tell me about that, Demi.
Well, basically we all have different jobs to do. We either sear the tuna or prepare the beans. So it all comes together.
So it's not one person doing the whole thing.
No.
Split it up. So do you watch cooking shows on television, Lisbeth?
Sometimes.
Yeah? Because the chef, Tom Colicchio, You've heard of him from
No.
Bravo? You haven't heard of him? He's from Elizabeth.
Oh.
And he learned all that by himself. But Mr. Conti, I think, knows who he is. Those Italian guys, they all know each other, right? So, do you watch any?
Yes, I do actually. I quite enjoy, from time to time there's some funny shows about cooking and everything. And it's also good to see, like, learning different ingredients that we may not have here, and better diverse your, knowledge on what type of foods there are and how to use them.
So give me a challenge that you have in, how about the two juniors, Demi and Lisbeth? What are some of the challenges you have in learning about this field? What do you struggle with?
Start you.
Basically, to replicate the same plate that Mr. Conti did, it's all a part
Try to match him, in other
You
words.
try to match them.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
It's hard. Yeah, because he's been at it a long time, right?
Yeah, he's experienced.
His experience.
Yes.
So, what do you got to do more of it then?
More like how he makes it.
Right. So the last thing to talk about is the Taste of the Towns on next Monday. I look forward to seeing the three of you. You'll all be there?
Yes.
And you don't know what you're serving yet, right? No.
We're thinking.
You're thinking.
We're thinking, yeah.
We are. This is a collective thinking
yeah,
effort.
this is.
Okay, and there's more than the three of you will be
Yes,
there.
of course.
I'm coming over to the table, and whatever you're eating, I'm serving, and we're taking pictures, right?
Of course.
And last year was filet mignon, right?
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah. It was a great turnout last year, yes.
It's tender. You did a great job last year. So I'm going to look forward to seeing you. I want to thank Kahlil in the back there, Kahlil Monroe, for cooking this while he's off stage and you get to stay on. He's going to be there as well?
Yes.
Next week? And I thank you for leaving school. We tape this show, as you know, during the day. And thanks for coming out of school to do it. So we'll see you next week. Thank you very much for coming on the show. It's been great. I want to thank Mr. Ken Richuso and Mr. Doug Harris, who were on the first part of the show as members of the Rotary Club during Taste of the Towns. And I especially want to thank Maressa Bento, who's a senior and going to continue her studies next year in college, Miss Lisbeth Peralta, and Miss Demi Barbosa, who are juniors in Mr. Conti's class, and look forward to seeing them again next year and wishing them well in their future education. I'm Chris Bolwage. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.
Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kane University.